Hello and welcome back to Choice Bits of Bliss. Earlier in the year, I had mentioned that I would do a little bit of focus on some paper pads. And in true Priscilla fashion, here we are at the end of the year and I'm just now doing it. So, this paper pad is from 2022, Die Cuts with a View. It is called December 25th. I've pulled it out and I'm going to use half of it. And I'll show you how. So I have already removed the papers that I'm going to use. I pulled, instead of 18, I pulled 19 because these cut aparts, I really like the reverse. So this is the only one that I have two of. But this is going to go on my layouts. This is going to be used as part of my embellishments. So let's look at the papers. They're double-sided, and that gives me a ton of options. So what I'm going to do is I'll start this way. I'll turn them over here, and we will turn them up. Which side I think I will use the most. So I really like this as a background. I also like this. So that one will probably get used in a couple of different ways. And this one, I'm not fond of that. I like this side. I'm not fond of the gray on that. I love this. You know I love a good green. And this one, the trees, I feel like I've already got in this paper here. So maybe the foil is what I'm going to use here. And maybe, now that I'm looking at it, I may use these trees and go ahead and keep that as a background. I think that is a winner. I think that's what we're going to do because I wasn't a huge fan of the foil. The Santa Claus and candy canes, not a big fan. I will probably use this side. Excuse me. I love these. And yes, I am going to use this side. You know that green's calling to me. I like this side. I also like this one, and it gives me a variation in patterns. So, in scale. So I'm going to keep that side. I really like these stars. It reminds me of a grid layout. And kind of has already got my wheels turning, but my gosh, I love this. I love this. And since I've got a lot of green, I feel like that'll be a good background. I'm probably going to use both sides of that. Now, I actually could go back and pull another one of these out of the paper pad. We'll see. We'll see. Not a huge fan of the Frolicking Deer, but I thought this Ho 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 paper, we could make some use out of that. I like the red and the white, but I also like this. This is probably going to get used both sides. I already have the tree icon. I feel like that to use. Love this. Love, love, love this. Great background. The black and white snowflakes, I like. I also like this side. Once again, I already have the Christmas tree icon represented. Probably going to use both sides of this. We have the little snow fellas in a field of gray with snow falling. And then we have text. I'm using the text. I like the candy cane stripe. And then we have those deers frolicking in the green. This is tone on tone, and I'm probably going to use that. We have these gold snowflakes, and they have already given you the ability, by doing this white bleed, it helps you fussy cut. So these are fussy cut elements. This is I'm going to use for my embellishments. So that's getting set aside. And then we have this black and white background. I'm probably going to use these ornaments to fussy cut as well. So these are elements that I'm going to use to decorate with. So we have this black and white grid. I'm going to use the banners. Not banners, borders. And then I'd already showed you this one. The cut aparts I like, the stars I like, and I'm going to use both sides of this. So I have 4 pieces of paper that I am going to use as elements for embellishments. So I'm going to set those aside. Now, I'm probably going to have to pull additional papers in to create my layouts. I'm thinking I can get 4 layouts with the paper that's left over. I have 15 sheets. I typically use 3 to 4 papers when I'm doing a layout. If I'm not scrimping and trying to save the paper. So I love this one as a background. And let's do that. Let's just pull backgrounds out first. I love this one as a background. I love this as a background. It's giving me very different vibes. You know, they're not all exactly the same. And I love that. I have these 2 that I could use as backgrounds as well. So this and this is the same pattern, and I already have the red represented here. So let's look at this side. I'm really not a huge fan of that. I'm going to stick with the red and white. So this is a supplemental paper. I don't feel like it's a background paper for me. I have 4 backgrounds. So we're going to build on these backgrounds, our layouts. Now, I'm already looking at this burgundy. This, maybe we should call this more a wine color. And I want to bring in elements that will coordinate with that wine color. And since I already have these gold elements as well as that cranberry wine color, I like this with it. So we're going to go with 3 sheets for that page kit. Now let's move on to the red. And I like the ho 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 with that one. And I also like this that is more red. And it tones down the muchness of this and the muchness of the foil look. So we're going to go with that. We have 2 page kits. Let's get our green on. I love this green. Love it, love it, love it. But it's a lot, and I think I want to tone it down with this. I love how it adds in the additional color, and we've got that gold going on. I love it. And what else? What else? Let's see. I'm thinking this. Thinking I can play with that. I like that. We have 3 page kits created. I'm already looking at this for this layout. I have a grid thing going on. I don't want to continue with the grid. So I'm going to bring in this, and I'm not happy about it. So let's stop. Let's look at what else we have here. Not a huge fan of that. That's a lot of I'm good with these 2 together. Let's change out something. This works well together. The black and the red really works okay with each other. And I think this grid, even though this plaid, the grid, I think that is going to work. Okay, so we've got 4, and we have these left over that I can use as supplemental pages, as supplemental papers, and I like that. When I come back, we're going to have started some layouts. Okay, I am finished creating the 4 layouts that we had talked about. And give me 1 second, let me turn my fan off. Here it is, the middle of December, and I am using a fan because the heat rises and it gets hot up here on the 3rd floor. Anyway, the big question is, did I use the 19 pieces of paper that I pulled out of that paper pad? And I did something. I honestly used 18, and then I was like, no, dadgummit, I'm going to use that 19th piece of paper. So I fussy cut out 2 of these trees just so I could count that piece of paper because I'm a stinker. I'm a stinker. Okay, let's talk about these layouts. So I went through Pinterest, and I'm going to show you the 4 layouts that I selected to scrap lift. And this was the first one, which what really drew my attention was this very much L design, and you can see that in this one. Michelle Henderson for Just Nick created that layout. This one is created for Simple Stories. That's the next layout. This is also for Simple Stories. And the 4th layout had just this very diagonal line and design, and my dog is barking. I apologize, but I liked that. So you're going to see some of these elements. I didn't do a total scrap lift, but you will see some of those elements in these layouts. So the first layout, I really liked the L design. I also liked the big title, and I got these dies. It's Sizzix dies from Joann's. They're 2 inches. Somebody on Love RTS Facebook group mentioned these and how much they loved these dies. You get a twofer because, and I didn't realize this, but you get the inside. You also get the outline of each time you cut a letter. So these are great. Great. I love them. I'm glad I got them on sale. But I can't remember who brought it up on Love RTS, but they're worth it. I'm really happy with them. So aside from that, this is one of the cards that we sent out for Christmas. I loved the envelope because I love paper. So this is just a very block design. It's just block. And then it has this L element that was inspired by the layout that I selected from Pinterest. Okay, next, this layout, I wanted to feature some of these pieces that my friend made for me for her 12 Days of Christmas. And I made a scallop out of this star design paper and star wreath. I want to reserve this for when we've got family all together. And photos will be put on that later. This layout is the one that's got that diagonal design, and I'm really happy with this. I stinking love it. I was invited in 2010 to one of my friends' house to take pictures of their decorations, and this is just a small sample of. They had every single room decorated so fabulously that it just would blow your mind. So yeah, I did that. Took those photos. And then each year I take a picture of our house at night in the snow. And this is the layout, I had the banners, and so I was inspired by that. I did, and it's also on this. I used them on this one first. I did stamping, not just stamping, but double stamping and die cutting. All of this greenery is stamped and die cut by moi. I feel like such a grown up. I also cut out die cut those snowflakes. I know, it's the little things. But that is my 4 layouts that I got completed. And now that paper pad is going out of my room and out of my space, I will share the rest of it with someone else to enjoy. And I'm very, very happy with what I've gotten accomplished. I hope your holiday season is going great and that you are having a ton of fun with your family and your friends. Come back. We will chat again soon. Bye bye.